Hi, Lindsey Duncan. Today, I wanted to have a chat with you. Um, Lindsey, I know you are a certified yet also celebrity nutritionist. You're a naturopathic doctor, a world explorer. You're lecturing around the world. You give incredible speeches. You have appeared on numerous TV shows like Dr. Oz, The View, Fox, and others. And you've appeared in many popular health magazines. I think Dr. Oz called you the Indiana Jones of the health movement. And now you're with us. You're producing incredible supplements for my company, Researched Elements. And you're running an incredible company, all in nutritionals. You're based in Ohio, in Springfield, Ohio, not too far from beautiful Detroit, where I am at. I have to yet come and visit you. But really, your company, from what I've experienced from A to Z, with your incredible staff like Adam, Weston, Ali, Catherine, your overall customer care, your product quality, your state-of-the-art technology and facility. With all of this, I know that you've been in the supplement business for over 30 years now. What made you form this company, All in Nutritionals, with all of your experience in the past? Or maybe tell us who you are, how did you get into this, and what ultimately led you to found All in Nutritionals, what differentiates you. But really interested, I think you have a very interesting history in your life path, and I want to explore and share that with our viewers, how you got to this and how passionate you are about this.
Yeah, well, thank you, Dr. Bogner. First off, I appreciate you having me on your podcast, and I really appreciate working with you and Alex. It's been a very humbling and enjoyable experience, and so we're looking forward to continuing to work with you all. How did I get involved in the natural products industry? I was sick, very sick as a child, and I exhausted the medical world. I wasn't able to find any solutions. I found a lot of antibiotics. I found a lot of medication, and I found my body very toxic. And so I guess pain, they say pain is the mother of invention. I believe that is true. And so it was the pain, and it was the difficulty, and it was the trauma that led me on a search that led me to natural plants and natural compounds and herbal medicine, which led me to detoxification, which led me to healing, which led me to a bullhorn that I just have used for 38 years now. And I haven't stopped, I haven't stopped talking about natural healing and natural medicine. So I think that the pain and the poisons and the toxins and the conditions, the numerous conditions that I had as a child, led me to finding a solution. And then I had to use that information to help other people. And it's very similar to what you're doing. And so I just been doing it for 38 years. What it makes All in Nutritionals different is it's just the integrity. You learn a lot of things to not do when you've been in one industry. I've been in one industry my entire professional life, and this All in Nutritionals is my 5th company. And you make a lot of mistakes along the way. And when you make these mistakes, you learn from them. Hopefully you learn from them. And I've also done a lot of good. I've been able to be blessed enough to help millions of people on our planet over this 38 years. And so, I retired for a while. What brought me back out of retirement was a horribly tragic event, and that my wife and I went through, and it told me that, hey, you're here for a reason. You were spared. Your life was spared and saved. And so go out there and do something good and help people. Don't sit there in your retirement and rot. And so that's what I'm doing.
Wow. Yeah. And I watched your incredible video that you can see on the website in regards to Molly and you. It's very moving, very powerful. And I really have great respect for you for what you have gone through and what you have built thereafter. So I know you are actually known as the celebrity nutritionist. I researched you a lot, and I know you had celebrities like Demi Moore, Courtney Cox, some, I'm not very, I don't know football very well, but I know there was some Super Bowl football players, multiple athletes.
The Beatles. I had the Ringo Starr, the Beatles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Let me ask you this: why did they come to you? What made them? What attracted them to you?
Well, they all came to me by referral. I never advertised a day in my life. I never needed to. I had a 2-year wait when I retired from a 2-year wait to get in to see me when I stopped taking new clients. But they came to me because of the results. I was able to get results. And how was I able to get results? I went to the gut, the mother. I went to the mother of the body, the mother of the body. She feeds everything. And if people can realize that the headache's not the problem, the pimple's not the problem, the joint's not the problem, the lack of sleep or the inflammation, it's all coming from mom. It's all coming from the gut. It's all coming from the hub of the body. It's like if you want to get something to the hair, silica to the hair, it gets there by way of the gut. If you want to get calcium to the bones, by way of gut. You want to get beta carotene to the eyes, by way of gut. Iodine to the thyroid, by way of gut. The human body is fed and is healed and is poisoned and it becomes sick or well by way of the gut. And I simply went to the gut, and by doing so, I got results. And by doing so, I got referrals. And by doing so, I was able to continue to teach these people to thrive.
It's incredible. Yes, and we agree. The gut is certainly the core of it all. It appears, at least in chronic disease. Now, when you decided that you want to start all in nutritionals, I know it's not easy. Hey, I want to start a supplement company. I know there are a lot of stringent regulations. You've shared a video with us with all of the books that you have in your office in regards to FDA compliance, and you get audited. But tell us a little bit about the process of this. And I know you mentioned that you're currently undergoing auditing for, what is it,
it's by NSF, which is the top auditing firm on planet Earth for nutritional supplements and pharmaceuticals. And it's the confirmation that we're receiving is CGMP, which certified good manufacturing practices. And it's, we have over 160 SOPs, standard operating procedures that we have to adhere to. We have to have every ingredient tested. We have to test it for microbiological contamination. We have to test it for heavy metal toxicity. We have to show that we wash our hands. We have to show that we wash and sterilize every single thing. And then we go above and beyond this significantly. So we ozonate our air. Nobody does that. We don't breathe the ozonated air, of course. We turn it on at 10 at night and it cuts off at 3 in the morning. Point is, microbiological contamination doesn't necessarily happen on the counters or on the hands or the gloves. It happens in the air also. So we go so far above and beyond standard CGMP that I don't know if it's matched anywhere worldwide in the industry. I don't know anybody who's ozonating the air, who's alkalinizing their water to a 7.1, 7.2 pH potential hydrogen. We're going to extreme measures to make sure that our products are pure, clean, and that they're efficacious.
Yeah, it was interesting. I had a patient the other day, and I'm like, okay, are you taking NAC? And, she said, oh yeah, look, here it is. And I'm like, oh my God, I have the same one standing on my table here. I don't want to flash it into the video here right now. And so he's like, oh, you got to be careful. Look, my capsules have these black spots in there, and it appeared to be mold. And I'm like, oh my God. So I checked mine, which I just got. Yeah. I had the same thing in there. So it was like, well, that's why I'm not feeling, better with this. I actually felt worse. And I was like, how often do you see, how can we be sure that other supplement companies, for example, or supplements that we're taking, how can we, what do we have to look at to say, all right, this is really has undergone stringent testing, and there certainly is a very low likelihood that they are contaminated with toxins or with mold, for example. But I know there are heavy metals, arsenic. How do you go through a process like this to make sure that we get clean products?
That's a great question. And unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to have an answer. You have to find a company. You have to find someone who really knows what they're doing and who just won't compromise. And it's difficult because I'm going to say something that's controversial, but 98% of the supplement companies out there, they don't really care. It's about marketing and it's about pushing stuff down people's throat. If you look at what a lot of these companies are doing, not all of them, but a lot of them, they fumigate and they irradiate and radiate the natural herbal compounds that they bring into the United States. Now, the United States government says, well, if you're going to bring something in, it has to be sterilized. So the companies, they utilize the easy route. And the easy route is to use these fumigation, this sterilization, and this radiation. And nobody knows that. You don't have to put that on the label that your herbs are being chemically processed and sterilized with fumigation and with radiation. It's unbelievable. They use a gas, it's called an ethylene oxide gas. Nobody knows this. So now you're asking, how do you find a company that doesn't do that? I don't know. Ours will never fumigate anything. We use steam sterilization. So therefore, if I'm making your products, Dr. Bogner, your company will never have a fumigated, radiated ethylene oxide gas in one of your ingredients. And so I don't know. Unfortunately, most companies want to cut the corner. They want to find the easy path, and it's about the profit. It's about the bottom line. We're dealing with health here. Profit should come secondary. The human being should come first.
That's beautifully said, and I appreciate that explanation. Now, before we got to you, before we found you, a great friend referred me to contact you. With Alex and I have talked to multiple supplement manufacturers, and we have a lot of ingredients in our products. Gut Guardian has 50, Spectrum Max has 60. And the problem was some of them, they're like, sorry, we don't have it. We would have to inquire and find it. And, this whole process would have taken like a year to do it. Yeah. You were like, boom, 4 weeks, you had it done. And like, why did you have that capability when all of the other companies that we talked to did not? Like, does that come with experience, or are you just on a different network, or is it connections? It's just, I found it just almost surreal the way you pulled this off, to be honest with you. And you had everything like, okay, no problem, here it is, organic, showed us pictures, and it's beautiful. So
you guys use some of the most advanced and some of the most powerful clean ingredients on planet Earth. It's much of the same stuff that we already use and know and have. Normally, you don't find people that are using these powerful ingredients that you're using. Because you and Alex focus so much on gut microbiome and gut health, that's our specialty. And so it was very simpatico. It was very cohesive. It just was, it was a marriage that was perfect for us because you were using the best of the best. You were using stuff that went to the core of the human body. You were using ingredients that went to the gut microbiome. And so we're like, we do this every single day. This is our sweet spot. And so that was very easy for us. And it was very synergistic with you and with Alex. That's one reason. Another reason is, this is my 5th company. I've sold probably $4 to $5 billion worth of supplements in the brands that I've built, from Nature's Secret to Genesis Today to Genesis Pure, throughout my career. So arguably, I know supplements as well or better than anybody in North America. So I was able, you wanted Guargum at 2,200 milligrams in Gut Guardian. I'm like, whoa, this is serious. This is like a really powerful formula. I knew exactly where to go to get it. I knew where to go to get the branded ingredient. I knew where to go to get the cleanest ingredient. And so it was just very synergistic.
And what I like and was most surprised and didn't expect is your flavoring. We're dealing with a lot of pediatric patients, and you can get the best supplement in the world. If it doesn't taste right, it doesn't matter. They're not going to take it. And so we definitely appreciate the way you flavor these. They're incredible. Like, I want to drink more. It tastes like a fruit juice, but there's no added sugars or anything. I know we mentioned on our website, from the flavoring manufacturer that supplies to you, but could you just briefly confirm that the flavoring that we use doesn't contain MSG, and a little bit about how you got to this? How long did you search for this? How difficult is it to actually flavor something? I mean, if you look at Gut Guardian, 50 herbs and prebiotics, this is nasty tasting. When you send us the unflavored sample, really, it's like, oh, okay.
It's bitter.
It's bitter, yeah. And bitter is good, right? Bitters are very good for the body to detox. But how did you get into that? Because I haven't heard really anyone else, or there's no other company out there that I know that makes the product taste as good as you have, like creamsicle. Like, what is that?
So if you understand us as a company, as a manufacturer, we don't use polyethylene glycol. We don't use cross-carbamylose sodium. We don't allow dicalcium phosphate in our buildings. It's not allowed on our premises. We don't allow silicon dioxide. We don't even allow methyl paraben. All of these chemicals that people use, microcrystalline cellulose, magnesium stearate, silicon dioxide, they are used to weigh the herbs down that are very fluffy, so they can turn the machines up and run very fast, like a pharmaceutical company does. And so to these manufacturers, time is money, and they want to run everything quick so they can make more money and get on to the next product. We use none of them. We don't allow them in our facility. We slow the machines down and we let them run the way nature wants them to run. If the herb wants to be fluffy, we let it be fluffy. So my answer to your question is if we don't put these excipients and binders and flow agents and lubricating agents in our products, why would we ever put MSG, which is a neurotoxin? Why would we ever put a sugar, a refined sugar, or a chemical in our sweeteners? Our sweeteners come from scratching the orange peel. We fold it. So we'll take an orange oil, an essential oil from the orange or the lemon peel, and then we do what's called folding. We fold it once, then we fold it 10 times, and it gets stronger and stronger, where it's so strong when you smell it, it's like, oh my gosh, that's orange. That's beautiful. That smells so good. Then we add our healthy sweeteners like coconut sugar, just pure coconut sugar. Or we'll add a lohan fruit, monk fruit. But that's all we'll use. We don't use, and there's the sugar content on our Ancient Energy is 1 gram of sugar. 1 gram of sugar from monk fruit and from coconut orange, and it's 12,000 milligrams of very strong, potent, bitter B vitamins, chlorella, organic spirulina, all the same stuff that you're putting in your products. This really bitter stuff, we have mastered the art of getting it to smell good by using these citrus oils, these magnified oils, naturally, and by using these natural, non-harming sweeteners that don't give you 28 grams of sugar per serving, 32 grams of sugar. They're giving us 0 to 1 gram of sugar.
It's incredible that other companies don't follow that. I mean, why?
It's hard to do.
The consumer is very intelligent. I have parents that already contacted me, asked some questions about the products we reassured them, there's no MSG because, the flavoring, the natural flavoring kind of duo has been perverted, that everybody thinks, oh, natural flavor is bad. But how else are you going to describe a flavor that is actually coming from nature? And so that required some explanation. Now, I know you have your own supplement line. Beautiful.
I just want to go one more further, just real quick. I have to tell you one more thing.
Sure.
We took our flavor house and we said, you can't even use maltodextrin or corn. We made them switch the maltodextrin to gum acacia. Now, nobody has done that. So now if you look up, everybody Google gum acacia, is it good for you? Is it good for your gut microbiome? Is it good for your digestive system? Is it good for the intestinal walls of the villi of the small intestines? Gum acacia is incredible.
It actually lowers blood sugar. I think there were some studies.
Bingo. Yes, yes. And so we said, and he goes, well, it's going to cost 4 times to 6 times more than what everybody's using, which is maltodextrin. We said, fine, we don't care. We don't want the maltodextrin. We want the gum acacia. Then he says, oh, but it's coming from Africa and it's Sudan area and it's not stable. And what happens if there's war and you can't? It's like, use the gum acacia. We'll crack that code when we get to it.
Yeah, you always see a problem, and it's your passion to solve the problem, it seems, fairly quickly. But yeah, I mean, it's true. You know, once we added some of these ingredients in the right ratios that we wanted, the price went like, oh, okay, that's much more expensive. And I guess that's the difference. That's why our supplement is not $28, but it's more. But it's quality that you get.
If I did a show with you and I broke down some of these vitamins that you buy at Walmart or that you buy at Walgreens or that you buy at some of these retail outlets that are $9 or $10, if I broke those supplements down and what's in them, the titanium dioxide and the chemicals that are in them, and I compared them to researched elements, supplements and what's in the label, and I broke it down to the deepest level, people would be floored. They would have a lesson in nutrition. They would have a lesson in manufacturing of true natural supplements, and they would be absolutely floored. It would be like people are doing now with the glyphosate in breakfast cereals. They'd be like, I can't believe it. We ate those cereals when I was a kid, and now they're finding out what's in them now. Same thing in the supplement industry. There's absolutely no difference.
Wow. Yeah. And of course, products are gluten-free, soy-free, GMO-free. I think all of the herbs that you get have to be organic.
Organic or wild harvested. They have to be free of fungicides, herbicides, larvicides, pesticides, heavy metals, all microbiological contamination. They're tested for E. coli all the way down to any basic microbiological contamination. They're as pure and as, if I give them to my children and everybody here gives them to their children and their grandchildren, you're talking about a commitment to quality and purity that doesn't exist I've ever seen anywhere else in the industry.
I have to tell you, I took the Gut Guardian, 2 scoops a day. After a week, I lost 8 pounds. And, you know, I didn't do more exercise or anything. I sit in my chair here all day and all night. It's incredible. And we feel good. And I know Alex is as well. And we get the same reports back from our families and hopefully soon from our patients as well. But so it is different. I can feel it. And, you know, on top of it, that it tastes great. It's just incredible. I know you have wonderful products as well. And anybody, please go visit this incredible website that they have built over there at All In Nutritionals. I flash it in here right there. Fortunately, I wish I could show you the products, but something is wrong with my system in regards to sharing the screen. So I hope that's okay. I know you were talking to Alex and I about some very exciting projects that you're working on. One of them is this special coffee that you've been working on for some time. And I know there's also this shower head. Could you tell us about these products?
Yeah. So the shower head I want to have in your line, absolutely. I think it's critical. So I'll start with the shower head because what people don't realize is they're always buying bottled water. They're buying the water that has the plastics in it, and they're trying, but they're not succeeding. And so we need alkaline water. We need water with a high ORP. And what a lot of people don't realize, Dr. Bogner, is they're trying to drink purified water, but they're bathing in toxic water. And when you take a shower, the average person in a hot shower can absorb up to 6 to 7 glasses of water in one nice, hot, warm shower. So if you're showering with water that has fluoridated water or chlorinated water, you're not just absorbing it into your body, you're breathing it into your lungs. It's coming into your upper bronchus, your lower lungs, and your body is actually removing the good bacteria in the sinus cavity, in the throat, and the lungs, because you're breathing in the chlorinated steam. And so people haven't realized yet that what you shower with will determine a lot of your health. They go, oh, the chlorine dries my skin, it dries my hair out. They don't realize it's drying out their lungs, it's drying out their sinuses, it's drying out the inside of the body. Plus the body's absorbing all that. Chlorine is a killer. It just doesn't have the ability to differentiate between good bacteria and bad bacteria. It's basically, chlorine operates on the philosophy of the scorched earth. It destroys every single thing. Has it saved people's lives from contamination and from microbes? Yes. Is it destroying people's health? Absolutely yes. So we've come out with a shower head that removes all the chlorine, but it alkalinizes the water. It makes the water 7.1, 7.2 on the pH scale, which is absolutely amazing. So now your hair gets soft, your skin gets soft, but you're not breathing in the fluoride, you're not breathing in the chlorine, and you're absorbing alkaline water with a high ORP, a high oxygen radical potential. So I believe it's the healthiest shower on planet Earth. Only thing I would add to it is a little bit of salt, and I haven't figured out how to do that. Of course, Celtic salt or Himalayan salt.
How can we get it, Lindsey?
Well, we have, it's being shipped to us now. We're about, I'd say 3 to 4 weeks away from a 15-stage shower head filter. I think the price on it's like $35, $38. That's it.
So Lindsey, when our patients go on our website, are you going to commit to a small coupon code for my followers?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I love your product. Look, I take the Gut Guardian every single day. I take the Motility Max every single day. I take the Spectrum, the multivitamin, the Spectrum Max. I mean, your stuff is like, it's A+. On my scale, it's top of the shelf.
Yeah, we love it. And it tastes great. Now, my weakness, I can't get off, my addiction, coffee. What do you got, Lindsey?
Yeah. So we have an alkaline coffee. It tests 7.2 on the pH scale, sometimes 7.3. We basically took high altitude coffee. You want the coffee to be stressed, right? If it's stressed, if the plant is stressed, what does it do? It produces phytochemicals because they're used to fighting. I have to survive, so I'm going to fight. So how am I going to fight? I'm going to produce those good compounds, those good active phytochemicals. So it's high altitude, stressed out coffee that is grown in Peru at a high altitude. It's tested mold-free. Most coffee, standard coffee, has mold in it. It's mold-free. It's chemical-free. It's 100% organic. And then we add magnesium and potassium to raise the pH. We add pure fig, which blends beautifully with the coffee. And then we add a very high level of 6 mushrooms that have been clinically tested to help with energy, endurance, oxygenating the body and the blood. We have had nobody go on our coffee, our alkaline coffee, organic, drink it and go back to the other coffee. No acidic, no burning, no jittery, no agitation, no frustration, no rising the energy level up and then dropping 2 hours later. It's a sustained release and it's a beautiful coffee. It's one of the best inventions because everybody drinks coffee, but coffee can strip you. It's too acidic. What does the acid do? It causes your body to say, I can't be acid, so you release alkalinity from the bones. And when you release alkalinity from the skeletal structure to balance your pH, then you get osteopenia and osteoporosis. That's coming from acid. What does acid come from? Too much meat, too much alcohol, too much caffeine in coffee, and too much sodas. So when we live an acid life, our body has to compensate because, as you know, as a doctor, you can't go, your blood pH can't alter. If it alters, we die. Your blood pH has to be where it is, which is 7.4 and change. So the body will compensate by robbing the minerals from the bones. And that's what causes the osteopenia and the osteoporosis.
Wow. Wow. And do you sell it in ground or with the beans?
We sell it in K-cups now, and everybody has requested so much that we sell it in ground but the ground won't work through a regular drip because it has these other nutrients in it. So we've had to put it in these pouches. So you just take the pouch, drop it in your coffee maker, and it makes the 6 to 8 cups of coffee.
I think the video is frozen, so it's still recording, so it might bounce back. That's what happened last time. My apologies.
No worries.
And so your coffee we can get on your website, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. I'll definitely order some right after this.
The problem is we sell out. We've sold out about every 2 weeks. So if you order the coffee, people just need to be patient, because just like your products, we go right back into manufacturing. As a matter of fact, your first part 1, part 2, and part 3, the Gut Guardian, this is how fresh the product is. I don't even know if you know this. You were out of product and placed your reorder within about, I think it was 14 days, 13 or 14 days. That means that your product, from a freshness standpoint, is less than 30 days old.
Wow.
That is probably the freshest product in the United States that I'm aware of. I don't know any product that's fresher than those first 3 products.
Well, the more reason to try it out. Now, you've seen a lot, obviously, over the last 3 decades, 3+ decades. What are you most excited about in regards to the supplement industry, nutritional industry? What do you see on the horizon that's exciting? Is there technology? Are there more resources available, or other ingredients, or new discoveries? What excites you in that space that you're in?
The kind of work that you and Alex are doing. You've got these really well-trained scientists and medical professionals are now coming over and saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not taboo. This is not something that's woo-woo. This is not something that there's no clinical evidence on. This is something that we should look at. It does no harm and it helps. This is powerful. This can be incorporated into the world of medicine. Science and natural medicine is coming together, and the science is proving what the kahunas and what the healers and what the tribal people had to use 2,000 years ago to get people well. You see, there was no EMS to call 2,000 years ago. There was no ambulance. If something happened, you couldn't just pick up the phone and call 911. There was no phone. There was no 911. These healers had to get people well, and they did it by using plant medicine. And we can't think and disrespect this plant medicine and think, oh, it's old. It has no value. Modern science has all the value. Modern medicine has all the value. Nothing could be further from the truth. They live longer than us. They live healthier than us. They live disease-free. If you look at some of these cultures in Africa and South America and around the world, the Vilcabamba Indians, the Russian Georgianians, the Hunsans, these people work till they're 102, 103 years old. And they don't have these diseases that we have, these modern day diseases. We've got to respect that. Finally, we are starting to respect it. We're taking science and we're figuring out what's in these compounds, and we're figuring out why they're so beneficial. The two are coming together. This is a beautiful thing. This is going to help our children. This is going to help people with neurodiversity issues. This is going to help people with toxicity issues. This is going to help everybody across the board. It's a powerful, potent thing. Science is validating nature.
Wow. That is powerful, and I agree. I mean, you know, when the Western medical world is looking at, you know, hey, they have a natural powder, Gut Guardian, you know, that's quackery, right? But it's
not anymore.
I mean, natural medicine is really the true medicine, like you said, you know, and Western medicine is really the just perversion of covering up symptoms and not looking at the root cause. We all know that. And so, yeah, I love it. I did my plant-based nutrition course at Cornell. I fell in love with plants, and I wanted to produce something from the earth, you know, because we came from the earth. And I think it clearly shows, you know, that there's a difference if you take these types of supplements versus your, with all respect, Costco brand, you know.
And, you know, Dr. Bogner, as you know, I mean, think about where some of our medication comes from. I mean, Digitalis comes from foxglove. Aspirin comes from the white willow tree, white willow bark, salicylic acid. Excuse me. I could go on and on and on. Valium comes from valerian root. So we already know innately that these compounds are valuable because the pharmaceutical industry right now is studying several thousand plants from the Amazon rainforest. We already know that much of our medication comes from these plants. So all the clues are there. Success leaves clues. These indigenous people left these clues for us. These plants have left these clues for us. We know that they work. We just have to continue to use them in a more natural way, like what you're doing.
Wow, powerful. I love it. Lindsey, I probably gonna have to get back to you to ask you more questions. You know, I have some problems with the video technically here. I apologize dearly. So
no worries.
I don't want to take any more of your time. It was incredible information. Everybody should check out your website, allinnutritionals.com. We're very honored and privileged to work with you. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for developing absolutely incredible products for the community that we're involved in, the autism community especially, and overall in the, you know, natural healing communities. And we're looking forward to more great products. I think we're launching some in the upcoming days. More coming out, and definitely want to feature your shower head and coffee for our hero warrior parents to stay alert and be healthy as well. So with all that being said, anything you want to say, Lindsey?
No, I just love working with you and Alex, and you guys are the best I've ever seen from a manufacturing standpoint. The way you formulate, the way you don't compromise on the ingredients, and you've actually brought ingredients that I didn't even know existed, and that's the first time in my career that that's happened. So you guys are the best I've seen.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Lindsey. Thank you to your incredible team. We truly enjoy working with you, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bogner.